eventually pleaded guilty to the murder of Marshall University student Samantha Burns, who was 19 when she was kidnapped and killed.
2 weeks ago, the Q Center received another map from folks of the area. The convicted killer says that he and Brandon Basham buried their first victim, West Virginia College student Samantha Burns.
I really do appreciate you willing to help out. I believe that you being a paranormal investigator will make a difference. I know that a lot of people don't believe me, and I've dealt with that since 2002, but I've been honest, and the government covered the truth up Bruce in order to get a death sentence for me. Ask yourself these questions. Why would I tell the truth about the location of Alice Donovan, who I received a death sentence for, and then lie about Samantha, who I received a life sentence for? That place on Buffalo Creek is the spot, and you are right, they just blame me because they didn't locate her, but yet they found her shirt out there a couple years ago. Once I'm able to afford it, I will send you pictures, maps, and the files I have. We gotta be able to talk so there are no misunderstandings. Calls are $3.45 per call. Each call is 15 minutes. Send me your phone, hashtag, and email address. I have access to email, so we can communicate that way also. Would you be willing to visit me here? It's about 7 hours from your house to Terre Haute, Indiana. I want to make sure that you get me and know exactly where to look and where to dig. I have no doubt when you're out there you'll feel her spirit and know that's the place. I've spent the last 12 years doing all I can to prove I told the truth and to locate Alice and Samantha, and now that Alice's family has her remains, I want to make sure the Burns family has their loved one as well. Please don't believe all that you read on the computer. I have court documents that put most of that to shame. I know that my life will come to an end, but I don't fear it, as I know a new journey will be, but I do fear not being able to give the Burns family the closure they deserve before this happens, so I do hope this is why our paths have crossed.
So in the letter, we had talked about like some other like personal things, but he goes on to the letter to talk more about the area. This is when he introduces the location of Buffalo Creek. In the original blog, I had blocked out the name, but everybody figured out who she was, and she tells her story later on as well, and I will share that in the podcast. But here's the rest of the letter.
Yes, there was others involved. Her name is Beth. She confessed to her boyfriend at the time. His name is Nicky. Beth got away with it all as the FBI covered up her involvement, and she became their #1 witness at the trial against me and my co-defendant. They couldn't have gotten the death sentence without her and the lies she told. My investigators talked to her 2 years ago, and she confessed that she had a relationship with one of the FBI agents. Trust me when I tell you that this was one of the crooked and most betrayed trials ever. You don't know even a taste of all that was never told in the news. Besides myself, Brandon and Beth was the only other persons to know where Samantha is buried. Get this, in 2004, 2 years after this happened, the FBI caught her wearing Samantha's shirt that she took, yet it too was covered up and never came out. Contact Nicky and he might shed some light on Beth for you.
So I did do a little research on Beth at the time. I had talked to some people. The only problem was when I mentioned, what I had found out to Chad, and none of it did match up correctly. So I believe it was maybe just a false statement. But one statement I was told about her, though, was she dug up graves to rob stuff off of bodies when she was a teenager. Was it true? Maybe. I don't know. I did report it to the local FBI because I figured they would be able to find that information out. And I'm assuming there would be records of it somewhere. But then again, with possibly being a minor, maybe not, released to the public. I did mention the other statement to the FBI about, I was told by a friend that Beth was seen driving Samantha's car that night she went missing, and that they saw blood in the car. My question is, how would they know that Samantha was missing at that time, because it hadn't been reported yet? Chad even told me on the phone that Beth never drove Samantha's car. How would they have been able to see in the car to even see the blood? Remember, this would have been November, time change. With the time change, it gets darker and all that, a little earlier. And I forgot what the time was. But just say, see, if she disappeared later in the evening, if it's 6, 7 o'clock or after, it's going to be dark. And even with lights, say that you're somewhere like, because my understanding, I want to say it was like in a drive-through maybe, and they had been able to look down, but it's still dark. You can't really see even with the lights there. But I'm 100% positive Beth wouldn't have stopped to talk to anyone either, because she was driving a girl's car, which the girl would be, reported missing later on, and she'd have a witness seeing her in the car. So why would she risk it? Which people are dumb. People do dumb things daily, and I just don't know. Maybe like it could happen, but it just didn't line up. Like I said, with Chad saying that she never drove the car, that's why I don't think it was. Could just be somebody trying to get like their name in the story in a sense of that nature. And why would she even talk to anyone if there was blood in the car? So unless you wouldn't think somebody would see it, but like I said, none of it added up. So I kind of threw that out. But supposedly the eyewitnesses reported this to the police. But I still question that because nobody knew Samantha was missing at the time. And the proof I needed at the time actually came from a family member, and she confirmed that no calls were reported to the police describing this incident.